Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have polishes from Victorian Varnish to share with you all.
Show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet.
Now, I have their monthly polishes, their monthly releases that they do, and I also will be sharing their Polish and Beauty Expo exclusives. First, let me just back up and start with the monthly releases, the monthly polishes. So Victorian Varnish every single month releases new polishes on the first of every month. You always have your cog of the month, so it's a special polish that Victorian Varnish creates monthly. It also comes with a collectible sticker, and the sticker always matches the theme of that polish. We have some neon pastels, and then we have a duo of polishes called Ferns and Fireflies. It's actually a collab. I don't want to say their name wrong, so I'll leave it right here, and then also I'll leave everything down below for you guys too. So that is the monthly releases. Now, what is the Polish and Beauty Expo? So it is an event that takes place annually every year in the summertime, usually like mid-July. All of our lovely indie makers and beauty makers come together for a 2-day weekend. The first day is on a Saturday. It is the meet and greet that takes place later on in the evening, but there's also other sessions too that I haven't participated in, but there's like a polish making class that I know for sure takes place on Saturday on that first day, and I think there might be other things too. I'm not sure, but anything, all of this is going to be down below just in a snippet for you guys. So you have your polish making class on that Saturday. You have your meet and greet. That is about like 2 hours. It takes place in the same hotel, the same area that the expo, that the event is in, just on the opposite side. You get to meet all of the lovely makers. On each of the tables you have like little sneak peeks of what will be available for the next day at the actual expo. You get to meet all of the people you may have interacted with online and Instagram and YouTube, all of that. So it's really such a fun day. The meet and greet that Saturday is actually my favorite day of the entire expo in itself. It's only 2 hours, but it goes by so quickly. I wish it was longer. Hopefully we as this event grows and time goes by, maybe we might have a little more time to get to know each other and talk to each other and all of that. But those 2 hours go by super fast. And then on Sunday is your actual expo. There's different admissions. You have VIP, general. You, depending on your ticket that you purchased, if you're VIP, you obviously get in a little bit before general admission. So that takes place. You walk in to the same area on the opposite side, and there's just tons of different tables of beautiful polishes, all of our makers, everybody just walking around, chatting with each other, purchasing polishes, looking at what's available. It's a really fun day. It's a really long day because it starts, I think, at like 11 or 10 or something like that. It continues on until I think about like 4. So that Sunday is the expo. That's your opportunity to purchase these polishes. Some are limited edition for the event. Some collections are launching on that day on the Polish and Beauty Expo live date. Now, some of these polishes, if there's any overpour, so specifically for Victorian Varnish, if there's overpour, it will be available August 1st. So I'm going to leave, again, all the information down below. This goes hand in hand with our other makers. I'm going to have a whole bunch of other videos too about Polish and Beauty Expo, so I might sound like a broken record later on, but some polishes aren't just made exclusively for Polish and Beauty Expo. It just depends on the brand and all of that, and obviously, how many people end up purchasing certain polishes. Now, I will be at the Polish and Beauty Expo, so if you see me, please say hi. With that being said, let's get into the swatches. We are starting off with the July cog of the month. So this is the special polish that Victorian Varnish always creates every month for their website or for their launches. So this one specifically is called Just Wing It. It's described as a neon jelly base with fine and large particle shimmers ranging in purple, green, aqua, and gold. So this polish, along with all of the other cog of the month polishes, do come with a collectible sticker. They are limited edition, so once they sell out with the cog of the month, then that's it, they're gone. So keep that in mind if you love the stickers. I'll show you that in a little bit. But for this one, it is a true jelly. I built it up into 3 coats. And for the most part, I felt like I reached pretty decent opacity. My ring finger, you could see a little bit of nail line there. I think my longer nail friends, you might see a tiny bit of nail line, just depending on how prominent your smile line is. But for the most part, we got a really beautiful buildup of this super bright blue base, and then all of the beautiful shimmers in here are just sparkling all throughout the polish. Definitely love this one for summertime and even honestly for the winter. Pictured are 3 coats of Just Wing It with a glossy top coat. And then here is the collectible sticker that you will get with your purchase of the Cog of the Month. It's this cute little dragon. So just as the polish is called Just Wing It, you can see the inspiration behind the sticker with that name. So very cute. I love the Victorian Varnish stickers because of the holographic they have in there. I feel like there's always so much detail to the actual characters and the actual like places and things that are always on these stickers. Now we are moving on to the Delightfully Decadent Neon Pastel collection. So there are 5 of these all together, $60 for the whole collection or $12.50 for each. I'll leave all the details and information down below. This one is called Blissfully Blueberry and is described as a pastel neon blue, and it has shimmers. Now all of these have the same 1-sentence description, but really it's the eye of the beholder that is really gonna let you know how these polishes look. So I'm going to do my best to describe it in how I see it on me, so that way you can sort of interpret, you can also interpret it for yourself as well. I built this one up in 3 coats. It definitely has a crelly formulation. Now the shimmers that are in here, I would want to say they're definitely like a blue tone aqua shimmer. It totally is giving us a lot of dimension within this more crelly like polish. I almost feel like there's a little bit of green in the shimmer as well, so I'm going to say it's a teal shimmer. At least that's what it looks like on me and when I'm looking at it after the completed swatch. But definitely squishy, definitely very bouncy. Such a pretty polish for summer and for spring. And I think honestly, if you wanted to do like jelly sandwiches, even though I don't consider this a jelly polish, you can certainly layer it with other polishes, with other maybe glitter polishes to give you a fun, funky look. Pictured are 3 coats of Blissfully Berry. No, my God, Blissfully Blueberry. There's too many B's. With a glossy top coat. Next up is Tenderly Taro, and this one is described as a pastel neon purple with shimmers. So definitely for the shimmer color, I want to say we see a couple different shades, but I'll go into that a little bit later. We'll talk about formulation. So definitely crelly like. I love that wash of color I got on my nails. I just feel like this is going to do a good job with potentially like neutralizing your nail bed, especially if you paint your nails a lot and you know you have staining and all of that. I feel like this will sort of help even that out. But the formula was a little more on the creamier side than the previous polish that we saw. I built this one up in 3 coats, just like you saw, and I got full opacity on this one. So as for the shimmers, I feel like we're seeing some silver, a little bit of gold in there, maybe a little bit of copper, and then definitely some pink. You guys let me know what you're seeing. I feel like this leans maybe towards, I don't know, I feel like it's leaning warm, but then when I look at it again, because the shimmers that are in here, I feel like it leans slightly cool. So would that be neutral? Whatever the case, this is such a pretty shade of purple. I love these sort of purple, like in between shades. I always love looking at them, but I never quite love them on me, even though when I do wear this shade of purple, I do get compliments, but I think just for me loving it, it's just not the purple for me. It's a beautiful shade and I'm always attracted to these purple shades, but every time I wear one, it's just like, it just doesn't do it for me. But not to say that anything is bad with this polish. It is beautiful. It's just my preference that I know if I paint my nails with it, I'm just not going to enjoy it because I don't know. I am attracted to the shade, but just not on me. But nonetheless, it's a gorgeous polish with a beautiful formula. Pictured are 3 coats of Tenderly Taro with a glossy top coat. Here we have Splendidly Strawberry, and this one is described as a pastel neon pink with shimmers. I love this shade of pink. It is very vibrant, very bubblegum-like, very Barbie-like. You can see on the first coat, we go on a bit sheer, so definitely like that curly formulation. But then on the second coat, we start building up the base even further. And the shimmers in here, I'm going to call them like purpley pink, maybe like a tad of gold copper in there as well. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of pink and purple, mostly purple. I love how it's super, super fine and it runs all throughout the nail. It gives us another beautiful glow from within. So a lot of these polishes with these shimmers have that, it gives it that beautiful glow from within. But I feel like specifically for this one, it's definitely doing that. It is this really nice wash of pink on the nail, super flattering. I think this is going to be amazing as a pedicure. I can already see it. Pictured are 3 coats of Splendidly Strawberry with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Pleasantly Pistachio, and this one is a pastel neon green with shimmers. So same formulation as what we've been seeing, very curly-like. This one was super, super bright and had such a hard time trying to capture the photo just because of how bright it was. So second coat, you can see how we are building up that base, how neon we're getting with this one. As for the shimmers, I think for this one, and definitely probably for all of them, we have very similar like tones with our shimmers. So that's what's really giving us that beautiful glow from within, that very like 3D dimensional like look. So I decided to do 3 coats for this one to get the most of coverage and the most of my base. Now, don't mind the like rigidness, bumpiness of my fingers, especially like my middle finger. I've had a lot of peeling, so sometimes polish just doesn't look very smooth. But I'm trying to work on being better at oiling throughout the day. And now that it's summertime and I'm at the beach in the pool, my poor hands are just getting sucked dry of all their moisture. So don't mind that bumpiness that you see there. But this is such a pretty shade. I feel like it's a neon that is safe. So if you don't like too like extra bold in your face neons, but you want to wear something bright and green, this is definitely going to be it for you. Pictured are 3 coats of Pleasantly Pistachio with a glossy top coat. And here we have Marvelously Mango, so our last polish in the Delightfully Decadent collection. It's described as a pastel neon mango with shimmers. So this is our orange of the collection, and it's very like corally like. So definitely curly in formulation, but I feel like it's definitely on the creamier side. I did do 3 coats to get the most of my base, and I got what I would call like full opacity for this sort of a formula. So you can see my nail line is pretty hidden behind the 3 coats of polish. As for the shimmers, I feel like we're working with maybe like lighter tan, lighter orange shimmers, and then definitely maybe a little bit of silver in there as well. So we get a really pretty glossy look. And then again, this one was really bright, so my camera was sort of doing all sorts of things, trying to focus and register on the accuracy of the shade. Just know that it is a super bright, mango-y, corally color, and it's beautiful on the nails. Pictured are 3 coats of Marvelously Mango with a glossy top coat. Now we are moving on to the Ferns and Fireflies duo. This is a collab with Plant Nerd Broom. So I'm going to leave their handle down below. There's 2 polishes, and we're going to start off with BFF, Best Ferns Forever. This one is inspired by the blue oil fern. It has green with strong blue undertones, and then shimmer that is in blue and greens that run all throughout. This one had a beautiful formula. You saw 2 coats and I got full opacity. I love the shimmer that's in here. It is super, super sparkly, and it is definitely super strong. You can see it just wants to pop right off the nail and in your face. So we're getting a lot of the green and a lot of the blue. I honestly see a little bit of purple with the shift as well. This one is something that I feel like would be beautiful for the winter time because of the blue tones. But honestly, you can wear anything you want all year round. But you guys know me. I love polishes with certain seasons, so I'm always going to reference it that way. Pictured are 2 coats of BFF with a glossy top coat. And the second polish in the duo is called Tonight We Glow. This is actually a glow in the dark topper. I'm going to show it off built up on its own and then topped over BFF. But it's inspired by the Firefly Petunia. It's a sheer base packed with green, aqua, glow in the dark pigment, and it has green, blue, large particle shimmer. So this is 3 coats on its own. I think it's really, really beautiful on its own. We get so much sparkle, so much glint. The shimmer is just dancing all throughout the nail. Obviously, you are going to see nail line because this is meant to be a topper and because it's such a clear base. But look how pretty that shimmer is. It is stunning. So I'd definitely rock this as a manicure on its own. I think it's beautiful just the way that it is. Here's 3 coats in a still photo, and then here it is glowing in the dark on its own. Now I'm going to show you it topped over 2 coats of BFF. I think it just amplifies that sparkle even more, and we obviously get a lot more green and a lot more blue tones because of that's just the main component color that's in this topper, and it's the main component color in BFF as well. Now, would I wear these together? Absolutely. The sparkle is just like bursting with joy. But I think Tonight We Glow on its own is something I would probably wear on its own as well. So pretty. All right, let's move on to our PBE, our Polish and Beauty Expo exclusives. Pricing details, all of that will be down below. These will be launching over at Polish and Beauty Expo on July 20th. But on the website Victorian Varnish on August 1st, if there's any leftovers or overpour. Now, this one's called Feeling Naughty, and it's a bright neon strawberry base with a beautiful violet blue shimmer. Amazing formula. Like, we're starting off strong here, guys. You saw 2 coats, and we got beautiful full opacity on the nails. The shimmer is stunning. We see a lot of the violet and blue pulling through. Just like our Delightfully Decadent collection, the shimmer in this gives it that glow from within. So we're paying attention to the bright neon base, but that shimmer just adds a little something special in there just to amplify that base color even more and give us just that beautiful, like, sparkly glow from within that I personally love. So definitely a hot summer polish right here. Pictured are 2 coats of Feeling Naughty with a glossy top coat. Next up is Maritime Menageries, and this one is described as a bright neon purple with loads of pink, violet, red, green, gold, aurora shimmers. So definitely a beautiful bright purple polish. First coat, you see we go on a bit sheer, but the formula is already looking amazing. It is super creamy and easy to work with. Second coat, we get even more dimension with the shimmers that are in this polish. I decided to do 3 just to sort of give me a nice, clean, full look on the nail. I feel like this was on the curly side, but definitely a little bit more creamier. But I think that 3rd coat was necessary just to seal everything in all together. And can we stop and stare at how beautiful this polish is? The purple is bright and bold. The shimmers, I see a lot of the gold aurora in here. Do I see some of the violet? A little bit, but because we're working with similar tones, it's harder to see that. But what I am seeing is the gold aurora. I see some of that beautiful red just shining all throughout the nail. All of the shimmers are working so well with its partner of the base color, and it is just coming to life. I love this one. It is beautiful. I don't think I mentioned it as a favorite, but now that I'm looking back, it definitely is a favorite of mine. Pictured are 3 coats of Maritime Menageries with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have We'll Walk the Plank for polish. This one's described as a coral neon with violet, pink, orange shimmer and hollow flakies. So, first coat, we go on strong, guys. Super, super strong. Look at how amazing the coverage is on this one. The shimmer is poppin'. We see a lot, just dead on, a lot of the orange shimmer, right? The similar tones working through. The hollow flakies are super, super tiny, but they are there and they make a statement. Now, again, camera was freaking out because this is so bright. It was like trying to register like on the accuracy, but just know it is very bright. It is like the traffic cones that you see outside. That is how bright and searing it is. And I don't feel like I'd be afraid to wear this. Like, even as bright as it is, I feel like there's just something about it that just blends so effortlessly with my skin tone. And it's not like it's obnoxious or just like, it's definitely in your face, but it's just not obnoxious. I think it's because all the shimmers and the hollow flakies just all work so well together to give you a nice, beautiful finish without it being like a typical just neon, hey, I'm in your face and I'm chalky looking. It's a pretty color. And the formula was great. Pictured are 2 coats of We'll Walk the Plank for polish with the glossy top coat. I am squeezing in a fun one in here. This one is called Turtle Serenade. This is going to be the show special. So again, if there's any leftover, it will be available on the Victorian Varnish website on August 1st. So it's $12 at PBE. Leftovers will be $14 on the website, but it comes with a matching bracelet, and I will show you that in a second. This is described as an aqua jelly with cyan green blue shimmer. It's loaded with sparkles of flakies, hollow, micro hollow flakies, and it has a kiss of purple reflective glitter in there. Now, typical kitchen sink polish from Victorian Varnish, and it is glorious. I built this one up in 3 coats. It is a jelly base, but I was able to get a nice, beautiful finish on the nail. My nail line was hidden underneath all of the components in here. It doesn't dry down as textured as you would think because of the reflective glitter, but if you wanted to, you could use a glitter smoother and then your glossy top coat over it because there's a lot of components in here, but honestly, a nice thick glossy top coat will do it for you. It's definitely super sparkly. It is a beautiful shade of blue. We get hints of purple in there with our base color. It's just lovely for the summertime, and honestly, I'd wear this in the winter too. Pictured are 3 coats of Sea Turtle Serenade with the glossy top coat. Here's the bracelet that Sea Turtle Serenade will come with. You get to choose between a glossy or a matte bead. These ones are the glossy, and that choice is just as supplies last, so just keep that in mind. But this is such a beautiful bracelet. The beads are heavy duty. The bracelet, the stretchy band, is heavy duty as well. It just glides right onto my hand. I know it's going to be durable and it's going to last a while. You get the little cute turtle charm, and then you also have that little gold tag on there for the Victorian Varnish logo. And continuing with our exclusives, this one is Drop Anchor. It's described as a deep oceanic blue, purple green magnetic, and once it's magnetized, it reveals a sparkly red shimmer underneath. On that first coat, we get a really wash of color. It's like this really maroon, purpley sort of base color, and you can sort of see those red shimmers kind of coming to life, right? As soon as we get that magnetic strip, the red shimmers are sort of dispersing all over the nail. On the second coat, that's when we really start seeing more of it. And it's this really beautiful, deep shade of red, almost like a brick tone shade. I did do 3 coats for this one just to really build up opacity, and I thought it was perfect, so I'm going to recommend 3 for everybody on this one. But just as the description says, that magnetic portion really makes way for us to see those red shimmers shining on through underneath. On my middle finger, I did it in the velvet form, which I liked, but surprising myself, I love this more in the cat eye version because I'm usually one for the velvet look, but I think this one in its cat eye form is more stunning just because we can see a lot of that red shimmer peeking on through. Pictured are 3 coats of Drop Anchor with a glossy top coat. Now we are moving on to our next exclusive polish. This one is Deep Dive. It's described as a smoky base with an intense blue-purple shimmer and larger particle green aqua shimmer with golden and silver reflective glitters. This one had so much reflective glitter and I loved it. Now, reflective glitter has a history of being on the thicker side with formulation, but as much reflective glitter that there is in here, I did not find that with this polish. I decided to do 3 coats for this one and I thought it was perfect. I really love the smoky base. That intense blue-purple shimmer is just right on top, and then all those golden and silver reflective glitters are scattered all throughout. and it's just adding so much sparkle on top of the shimmer that's already in there. This one is definitely one I want to wear as a full mani again soon, and maybe for PBE. I'm still deciding on what to wear for the event, but this one is right there on my list just because of how sparkly it is. It's just going to catch the light just right. Pictured are 3 coats of Deep Dive with a glossy top coat. Our next exclusive is called C'est La Vie. It is a Tiffany neon blue that leans a little more blue base with a strong violet blue aurora shimmer, blue to black multi-chrome flakes, and a host of rainbow ghost flakies. So this one, I feel like lots of people are going to enjoy this one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love that Tiffany neon blue. I've just been loving this sort of like sea foamy shade all summer long, and then the rainbow ghost flakies that are in here are so beautiful. I did decide to do 3 coats for this one. It was definitely on the crelly side for the formulation, but the 3 coats got me the full opacity that I was looking for. It has this beautiful glow from within that is coming from that aurora shimmer that is in this polish. I love the shards of flakies, how they're all just different sizes and they're not uniform in shape. I feel like it adds a lot of character to this polish. Another gorgeous, bright, fun polish for the summertime. Pictured are 3 coats of C'est La Vie with a glossy top coat. Here we have parallel portholes, and this one's described as an antiqued bronze green hued magnetic, and when magnetized reveals a beautiful bright neon-esque shimmer in purples, pinks, golds, and it has hollow aurora micro flakies. This one is inspired by an antique scuba helmet, which I think is super cool. I can totally see that inspiration in this polish. So see that first coat, and then on the second coat is when we really start seeing more of the components really coming to life. I did do 3 coats for this one. I felt like it needed that, so I think 3 coats for everybody will work beautifully. I love the contrast that we're getting with the nice deep purpley pink base, and then that sort of antique olive greenish yellow strip that we see across the nail. Now my middle finger is in its velvet form. I think it's super pretty, especially because of the magnetic portion, that like bronzy greeny hue that we see. And we do get some of the glimpses of the purpley and the pink with the velvet form, but the cat eye effect really just brings out all of the components in this polish. So I definitely would do it in that version. Such a beautiful polish. All of these are so pretty. So shopping PBE is totally going to be tough. And this is just one brand. We have many other brands. Pictured are 3 coats of parallel portholes with a glossy top coat. Now here is the Nauti Duo. So we have 2 polishes in this duo. So this one has a special show price, so just for PBE, as well as Turtle Serenade. I can't remember if I mentioned that. So I'll leave that down below. Just know that when it is live on August 1st on the Victorian Varnish website, if there's any overpour, that this one and Turtle Serenade will be a little bit more. Now, this one is Hoohaha. It's a deep dark gray at first, but when you magnetize it, reveals a coal black base with a striking great white shark silvery gray line. So this is just my middle finger right here. I'm just showing you like the velvet portion. If you were curious on how I do it, I just sort of move my magnet all around. Don't judge me on my magnet. I do this all the time to myself. I get a new magnet and I leave it near acetone in my cotton strips, and it just gets demolished. But I did 3 coats for this, and you can see that really stark silver strip, and then our like sort of, I wouldn't call this straight black base. I definitely do agree with the description of it being a dark gray because it has like a smoky characteristic to it. Now, which version would I personally wear? I kind of love both, but I really enjoyed the velvet form in this. I think it's just going to depend on mood, honestly, because I did love both versions of them. I did. Like, if I wanted to wear something more silvery, then I'd go for the velvet form in this. But if I wanted a more stark contrast look and just felt a little more edgier and bolder, then I would definitely do the cat eye version. Pictured are 3 coats of Hoohaha with a glossy top coat. And then we have the second polish in the Nauti Duo. This is called Shark Bait. It's a deep dark blood red jelly. It could stain. Actually, it will stain. That is what the maker is telling us. As for me, Did I have some staining on my nail bed? I did not, but I swatched and then I removed pretty quickly. The cleanup on my cuticle area wasn't really a pain in the butt, but just keep in mind there is a disclaimer that this will stain. So it's intended to use over Hoohaha, or you can definitely combine it with something else. I think it's honestly beautiful on its own, so that's the way I'm showing it off to you guys. It does remind me of bait. It just has this really squishy, fun look. It does not look like what you see in the bottle because it's just more of a really like jellyish sort of formula. I don't personally mind. You guys see it right here, so you know what the actual polish is going to look like on the nail. And its actual intended purpose is to pair with other polishes. So would I pair this with something else? I think I would if I was feeling it that day, maybe with something sparkly, but honestly, I think on its own, it's beautiful and it has character. Pictured are 3 coats of shark bait with a glossy top coat. Now, I know some people have what we call fairies. So, you get your list, you watch these videos, you see the swatches that, are going to be available for this event, and you get your list together, and then you have a fairy or a person who will be at the Polish and Beauty Expo who can buy the polishes off of your list, obviously reimbursement, all of that stuff. So if you follow the Polish and Beauty Expo Facebook group, I think there's actually a thread with people who are volunteering to be fairies. So take a look there if you're not able to make it. So there's still a way for you to get your hands on these polishes if you have a fairy. All right, everybody, that was a lot of polishes. So if you stuck around this long, thank you. Real quickly, my favorites. So let's go to the monthly releases. I really enjoyed the Ferns and Fireflies duo. I loved the glow-in-the-dark topper. I loved it on its own, but I especially loved it over BFF. I just thought that it really brightened up that polish, made it even more sparkly because I love all things sparkly. And this would make an incredible manicure for like the fall time. Glow-in-the-dark topper, you can obviously use that whenever you want. I love it because it's not just the glow-in-the-dark pigment, it has that beautiful shimmer. Okay, and the Polish and Beauty Expo polishes. Turtle Serenade, loved this one. I actually swatched this one day and then I got busy and couldn't take it off. So I left it on like just one hand for like half the day. I absolutely loved it. I love how it's such a busy polish. I think it's beautiful for the summertime as well. I love how we have some larger flakies and smaller flakies in there. It really gives it a lot of texture and dimension. But I especially loved the bracelet. I thought it was so cute. I love those sort of like beaded bracelets anyway. This isn't it, but it's sort of that vibe. I thought it was so cute. So that's a bonus. If you decide to purchase this one, you get that bracelet with it too. Deep dive, oh my goodness, this is jam-packed with reflective glitter. It is so beautiful. Like it's so tough because I have polishes on my summer rack and I want to get through those, but then I swatch some of these and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can wear this now. I love the green and the blue together and I just love how sparkly it was. It's so beautiful. And then I really love to see La Vie just because of the squishiness, but mostly because of the flakies in here. I did 3 coats for this one and I thought it was beautiful. Could have left it at 2 coats, but I feel like that 3rd coat just really rounded it off and really gave me that base color that I was looking for, that I was seeing like in the bottle. It's just beautiful. Again, another gorgeous summertime polish. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these polishes, if you have your wish list, getting yourself ready for Polish and Beauty Expo, if you're going to be there, if you're going to have a fairy, all of that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.